Live from downtown Bakersfield, 23 ABC News at 5 starts now.
Good evening. A sudden and unexpected power outage in Tehachapi, closing down hundreds of businesses and frustrating city officials this afternoon. SoCal Edison flipping the switch around 11:30 this morning, affecting the northern part of the city.
The power is now back on, but we're told that Edison did not give advance notice about the shutoff. 23 ABC's Austin Westfall is live outside of the Tehachapi Walmart with how the city was impacted by the power going out. Austin?
Tim, that switch was flipped at about 11:30 this morning, and it affected the northern part of the city of Tehachapi, mostly the business area, not a lot of residences, but again, shut off at 11:30. Now it was turned back on at about 4 o'clock. I'm here at the Walmart that was shut down because of the power outage. Walmart sent all their employees home, so even though the power's back on now, the store is still not open. They're trying to open it very shortly, but I'm joined now by Key Budge. Key, you said this power shutoff came as a complete surprise.
It was. We weren't on the notification list. This wasn't one of the consideration circuits by Edison. They're supposed to give you the 48-hour notice, and they threw the switch. We found out at 11:30. We started calling our Edison folks going, hey, what's going on? They go, well, we didn't throw the switch. Everything's okay. And then they go, oh, hold on a second. Yes, we did. So internally, Edison didn't even know what was going on amongst themselves. So there was definitely a communication breakdown in the Edison front, and it's really frustrating for us because it affected our business corridor on Tucker and Tehachapi Boulevard. And then there was about 3,500 residents, according to Edison, that were without power, and most of those were in the unincorporated area.
Yeah, about how many businesses are we talking here? How many businesses were impacted?
We believe about 200. We think that 200 was the number, and Walmart probably being the one that had the most employees. That we saw them when you and I first started talking a little while ago, that a wave of them came out and they sent them all home. Well, now it just got re-energized, but they've got to bring everyone back. Things were put in cold storage. They're going to have to bring everything out of cold storage and back on the shelves. So it has an impact. I mean, not only do these people took less hours for their paycheck, so there's that ripple effect that kind of goes on. So the average Joe that's out there trying to work and make a living is taking home a little bit less, when maybe if Edison had had the proper communication, there could have been preparation, better scheduling, maybe backup generators in place. This circuit was not under consideration, and that's our biggest issue from the city standpoint.
Right. Thank you, Key. I appreciate you joining me today. Again, this Walmart expected to open very shortly here. They're bringing their employees back. Hopefully the city gets back up and running as normal very soon. We'll have more about the shutoff tonight on 23 ABC News at 11. And Tehachapi, Austin Westfall, 23 ABC, connecting you.
Frustrating day there, Austin. Thanks for that update. Now to fires raging around the state. A new fire burning near the Getty Center, causing destruction. The Getty fire now burning in Los Angeles. It started around 1:30 this morning. By 9 o'clock, it had already burned more than 600 acres. At least 8 homes have been destroyed, 5 more damaged in the Brentwood area. Thousands of people under new mandatory evacuation orders, including NBA superstar LeBron James. Several key roadways, including parts of the 405, 101, and Pacific Coast Highway, have been shut down. The Los Angeles Fire Department chief saying firefighters had control of the blaze initially, but then they became overwhelmed very quickly. That fire still burning. Crews also continuing to battle the Kincaid fire. The inferno sparked up Wednesday in Sonoma County. It forced 185,000 people to evacuate. Officials saying 2 firefighters hurt while battling those flames. One suffered serious burns, airlifted to the hospital for treatment. Firefighters also dealing with 40 to 50 mile-an-hour wind gusts and low humidity, prime conditions for wildfires. The fire has now grown to more than 66,000 acres, while it's just 5% contained.
Governor Gavin Newsom announcing today that a new website has been made to provide resources to those impacted by the fires and shutoffs. The site is at response.ca.gov. You can get the latest on how power shutoffs may affect you, as well as road closures, evacuation centers, and wildfire updates. It's a one-stop portal that includes local and state resources. The website was launched today. The Kern County Board of Supervisors will announce a homeless shelter crisis in Kern County, and one of the ways they're looking to fix the issue is by offering a low-barrier shelter right here in Bakersfield. Low-barrier shelters have different rules and guidelines than the regular shelters here in the city and county. 23 ABC's Alex Bell giving us a full breakdown on what this new proposed shelter will include.
The Kern County Board of Supervisors is planning on declaring a homeless shelter crisis here in Kern County. And one of the ways they want to fix it is by implementing a low barrier shelter. Now, low barrier shelters are quite controversial because in some cities people think that they seem to work, but in other cities people don't really like them because they differ from regular shelters. Well, do you know the difference between a low barrier shelter and a regular shelter? And what will this low barrier shelter have here in Bakersfield? Well, I'm here to tell you the difference and what they're proposing for the announcement. Now, this lot will be constructed with two main buildings. One will include housing, the other one will be services and administration. In the housing unit, there will be about 150 beds and 8,400 square feet for men and women to live together. In services and administration, it will include kitchen, dining, an exam room, and where the service providers will be for the residents. One difference of a low barrier shelter is they follow different guidelines than regular shelters. This one will allow residents to have the 3 Ps: partners, pets, and their possessions. Services for dogs will include vaccines, microchips, and they'll even have a running play area that's fenced in. Residents can store their possessions in 1 to 2 plastic tote bags that have to be kept in their sleeping quarters, but if they need more storage, they can store it in a 60-gallon trash bin that will be offered. Now, there are certain things that can't be brought in, such as drug paraphernalia and weapons. And as far as partners goes, partners are allowed in designated sleeping areas for men and women. There will be 2 security guards 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and cameras placed throughout the facility. Now, most homeless shelters require residents to be sober. However, in this low barrier shelter, residents can come under the influence of drugs or alcohol. However, the Kern County Board of Supervisors does want to implement corrective behavior to fix the problem. The Kern County Board of Supervisors are set to have their meeting tomorrow at 9 a.m. and it is open to the public. For more information, including the full proposal mentioned from the Board of Supervisors, head to our website, turnto23.com. Live in studio, I'm Alex Bell for 23 ABC News, connecting you.
Alex, thanks for that. Sheriff's investigators are working to figure out what led to a deadly shooting in Wasco overnight. Deputies were called just before 2 o'clock this morning to a shooting at the North 40 Bar, which is near the Amigos Meat Market at the corner of E Street and Highway 46. Deputies found a Hispanic man in an alley with gunshot wounds to his upper body. He was pronounced dead at the scene. So far, no suspect information has been released, but we will continue to update you as we get more information. And we are airing a special newscast called Kern County Unsolved this Sunday at 6:30 p.m. The 30-minute show will feature a look back and updates on such cases as the Bakersfield 3, Tessie Mangoig, Bianca Jackson, Wendell Davis, and more. The show will also preview KCSO's Missing Persons event on Saturday, November 9th. Join me for Kern County Unsolved, airing this Sunday at 6:30 p.m.
A deadly weekend on Kern County roads. 3 people killed in 3 separate crashes this weekend, including 2 here in Bakersfield. Around 9:10 Saturday night, a red Honda Civic crashing into a semi-truck off Copus Road in the 99. 2 passengers in the red Honda Civic pinned in after crashing into the truck, causing the truck to jackknife in the freeway. 50-year-old Javier Sanchez, who was a passenger, died at the scene. An hour later in East Bakersfield, another deadly crash took place after a car collided with a person. According to the CHP, it happened off Edison Highway just east of Mount Vernon. 45-year-old Patricia Vega died at that scene. Meantime, on Friday, a teen was also hit by a car on the Highway 155 and Evans Road in Quail Lane in Wofford Heights. It happened around 8 o'clock Friday. 17-year-old Cassidy Lynn Phillips died at the scene. Phillips was reportedly walking on the north shoulder of the 155 when a white BMW drove into the shoulder and hit her. Phillips died at the scene. The BMW seen driving away, but part of the license plate was obtained. Sheriff's deputies later finding the 30-year-old driver arrested, determined to be impaired. She was arrested for gross vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated and felony hit and run.
The Bakersfield Police Department needs your help in finding 2 girls who have been missing since Saturday. 12-year-old Cameron Nelson and 16-year-old Miracle Wallace are considered at risk because police say this is the first time they have run away. The 2 Greater Harvest Christian Center students were last seen Saturday between 9 and 10 p.m. If you have any information on their whereabouts, you are urged to contact police at 327-7111.
23 ABC's meteorologist Allison Gargaro taking weather on the road tonight. And of course, it's the week of Halloween. Lots of events going around. You're live tonight from Oildale, the Trunk or Treat event there, Allison.
Oh, guys, it is going to be such a great event. So doors are opening in just a few minutes at 5:30, but we can already see dozens of trunks that are open and lots of people dressed up. We have a tiger right here, a witch, and you can see tons of candy, Ritz crackers. I saw some Capri Suns, even chips. So these kiddos are in for a treat. So like I said, there are going to be dozens of trunks, actually 2 blocks full. They have a live band, carnival games for the kids, and there is going to be a costume contest right around 7:15. And the winners of that are going to be winning their own bikes. But as for temperatures, below seasonal this afternoon in the 70s, and we are tracking a light breeze across the region. 11-mile-per-hour winds here in Bakersfield right now, but really across the county, those have died down significantly because we have been tracking a red flag warning in the mountains that will be ending at 6 p.m. But again, if you're planning on coming out to trunk or treat in Oildale, starting at 5:30, temperatures in the upper 60s, dipping down to 60 degrees by the time that event ends at 7:30. So keeping that in mind, if you are getting your costumes on, you might want to bring a light jacket because it is going to dip down as soon as the sun sets. But I have more details on what temperatures you could expect for other events later this week coming up next.
Allison, thanks for that. City officials taking steps to make Bakersfield a little greener. The city announcing a $1.5 million replanting project, replacing the more than 35,000 plants that were removed during the drought. The initiative kicking off this month, going through May 2020. Contractors and the Recreation and Parks Department planting 10 different species that are known for their low water usage. The first locations that'll see new greenery are around Olive Drive and on Pacheco Road between H and Hughes Streets. It's being paid through Measure N funding. The city hoping it will enhance neighborhoods and parks and improve quality of life for residents.
The average price of gas in the U.S. is dropping, but here in Bakersfield, there's some bad news for drivers. According to GasBuddy.com, local gas prices are on the rise. The average price of gas in the U.S. has dropped about 4 cents per gallon in the past 2 weeks to an average price of $2.68. But here at home, the latest average price of gas in Bakersfield is a little more than $4 a gallon. Local gas prices are also up nearly 30 cents from a month ago. If you're heading to fill up, GasBuddy is reporting the lowest price of gas in Bakersfield is $3.63. You can find it at either the Varsity Station at 2023 Baker Street or the On-the-Go food store at 2501 River Boulevard. But if you're out in Buttonwillow, you can find a little bit cheaper of a price. They're reporting the lowest price of gas is $3.33 at the Sinclair and Shell stations on Tracy Avenue.
Notice that it was pretty shocking how low it is out there. Well, today dozens paying tribute to firefighters, officers, and emergency personnel in our community for National First Responders Day. In honor of today, Wiki's Wine Dive and Grill inviting first responders to come out, enjoy lunch on them. They offered a free lunch for first responders today from 11 to 2. The lunch included a Wiki's classic burger, chips, cookie, fruit, and a drink. You can see there are lots of happy customers. The drive-thru was also open for on-duty personnel in their emergency vehicles. The Hall ambulance crew showing up. Officers, firefighters, and emergency personnel made their way to that event today. We, of course, thank them for their service.